Hey, what's going on, guys? This is your man, Real Deal, Steele, coming to you live on a Monday night, feeling all right, out of sight. What's going on, guys? Good to see you. Good to see each and every one of you. Who do we got up in the chat so far? We've got Mike Tracy, we've got the Hump Deezy, Larry Ramirez, Low Roller Scratcher, Zombie Doge Army, Elvin, Hector the Dude, Ramon, Clip 1982, Me and You, Josh Randell Disavows, Mikey, and the list goes on. Guys, before we get started, if I could just ask you to smash that like button. It takes a split second of your time. Doesn't cost you a dime. Number one thing you can do to help out a channel like this. Also, if you're brand new here, I'd like to personally welcome you. You're watching Steven Steele Live. I am Steven Steele. And we have a great community here and would love to have you be a part of it. So feel free to hit subscribe, hit all on the notification bell of that subscribe, and ascend with us to the moon, Mars, and beyond. Lastly, if you feel compelled to super chat anywhere throughout the duration of this broadcast, it's obviously hugely appreciated for all my time and efforts put forth. You can do so through YouTube, or also additionally through Stream Elements. The link to that is pinned at the top of the chat. Either way is cool with me. Whatever is most groovy for you. I'm just thankful for any contributions. Without any further ado, I'd like to introduce the man with a plan, with a Doge plan since 2014. It's none other than the one and only OG Dogecoin millionaire, Nick Malls. Nick, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Steven. I am a little tired.
Yeah, what's going on?
I woke up for a doctor's appointment that I didn't have to wake up for.
So is it rescheduled, or did you write it down wrong?
No, I just, they sent me, you have like that automated chart program or whatever, and I swear, I know I scheduled it for 9 o'clock. And then they sent me an email. They were like, it's at 8 o'clock. And I was like, all right, fine. So, of course, I was up at like 5 o'clock. Didn't need to be. And yeah, it was at 9.
Oh, there we go.
So, yeah. And then I have another one I completely forgot about. I have another appointment on Wednesday, which totally screwed up my whole week. So,
wow. So the automated notification system was wrong.
Yeah, my doctor's office, I don't know if you remember this, a few months back, a bunch of doctors and like medical facilities got hacked by the Russians. Do you remember that?
I remember hearing about it.
Yeah, so my doctor's office was one of them.
Oh my gosh.
And it completely screwed up. I got a letter in the mail, and it was like, just so you know, your chart information may be in the hands of Russian hackers. So, yeah, just so you know. I was like, great. Thanks.
Wow. That sounds, that's very reassuring.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. So, here we are, Nick. Doge riding just above 21 cents. We'll just crack into this because I'm sure you've seen many of the headlines that I did where it was like, what is wrong with Dogecoin? What's wrong with Dogecoin? I'm like, the same thing that's wrong with every other coin right now. To me, it's obviously kind of a clickbait attempt or whatever, but those folks that are new investors don't necessarily understand that. So we are in September, you guys. If you want to know what's wrong with Dogecoin, Bitcoin is what's wrong with Dogecoin. Care to extrapolate, Nick?
To be fair,
among others.
There's tons of different factors that go into this. Can I get something off my chest real quick?
Yeah, by all means.
Okay. I took, this was a very small minority, but it came from a couple people that I didn't expect. For those who don't know, I hit a trade on the 17th. I saw Dogecoin spiking. I saw a golden cross form on the 5-minute chart.
Yeah.
And I hit a trade. I hit a trade about as perfectly as you could hit a trade. Mm-hmm. I sold 100,000 Dogecoin at 26 cents.
Mm-hmm.
And we have not seen that number since.
Mm-hmm.
I did it because I needed to cap my the rest of my capital gains bracket for the year. And I thought, you know what? Yeah, it's a good opportunity. And I think the rest of the month is not going to look great. And lo and behold, I was correct. Go figure. I've only been doing this for 10 years. So crazy, right? Well, I get like I don't know, maybe it was 3 or 4 people who were upset that I said the S word, sell. They're like, that doesn't make my feelings feel good. I'm here tonight to tell you, people out there, whoever, I don't know, there's only like 3 or 4 people.
Go ahead.
If you didn't know me in 2014, don't be telling me what I can and can't say on Twitter in 2021. All right? I'll sell and I'll post about when I sell whenever I damn please.
Mm-hmm.
It's none of anybody else. Like, if it makes you feel some type of way, fine. That's fine and dandy, but that's only because you bought 3 months ago and created your Twitter account then. Don't be mad at me, because I've been here for 7 years. Like, you know, I don't have, and this is, by the way, this is an issue that we've dealt with for years. It's nothing new. People get mad when you say sell. It's like, I only want to spend my Dogecoin on stuff. Well, good for you. What do you spend it on when you've got 15 million of them?
Right, right.
Exactly what are you buying? Because,
right.
It just doesn't make any sense. So I am, taxably and financially and ethically obligated to make some money off of my investment. Mm-hmm. And everyone else should too. I have no problem with anyone selling, buying, holding, or otherwise for whatever reason they please. Does not bother me at all. But when I see people post stuff like that under my posts and whatnot, just know that if you post something like that on my status, I just think you're an idiot. And if you want to hold Dogecoin till you're a pile of bones, go for it.
Yeah.
You do you, boo-boo. I do not. I don't have any problem with that, by the way. If people want to never sell, if people only want to buy Doge and use it to spend on things, that's totally cool. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. But tell me that you're going to do that when you have tens of millions of them, because it's a little hard to do that with that many. Just my 2 cents. Sorry, I just wanted to get that off my chest.
No, it's cool. I didn't even I missed it. I missed the hoopla. Was it? Now I'm just curious who it was. Now, man, I'm curious who
I'll send you those. It was some people that I would have not expected it from, and it was a couple people that I did expect it from. But
and any of the usual suspects.
Not really, but some that were connected to usual suspects. Not primarily, but it was honest. A couple people who did it shocked me, actually, because I thought that they were more knowledgeable than this. That perma bullying is not a real thing. I mean, it is a real thing. Apparently, I didn't know, but it's so funny because there's a subset. I told my mom was asking me about this. She was like, "Why are people pissed off?" And I was like, "There's a subset of people who get pissed off at YouTubers or whatever. I hate the word influencer, but there's a subset of people who get angry at people who create content who only say the price is going to go up. And there's also people who get pissed off at people who create content that say the price is going down. You're never going to please everybody."
Well, there's also people too that just hate on who's ever creating content and somewhat successful at it. It doesn't matter.
This is true.
It doesn't matter what you say, what you're talking about, what you're doing. In their eyes, you're all of a sudden the other. And the term. Go ahead.
I can kind of understand with when it. I do have a bit of understanding, and here's why. And I told my girlfriend this. She was asking me about it this afternoon. Right before the Doge pump happened on the 17th, before it ever took off, I saw the pattern forming in the charts. You can go onto my Twitter right now, and I posted a meme, and it wasn't even a meme. It was a filter from Snapchat. The Dune eyes or whatever. I love Dune, by the way. I can't wait for the movie to come out. I'm so hyped. And so I posted a picture of me with the Dune eyes, and it said I had prescient vision and that I knew that the market was going to pump. So it does make it look bad. If in I do understand, because a lot of the times I get blamed for Dogecoin either going up or down. Let me tell you guys, I am not Robinhood. I am not Vlad. So I don't control the Dogecoin market. I don't have, I carry a lot of Dogecoin, and I still do. I only sold 100K.
Right.
But just so people know, I do have to pay bills, and I do owe taxes. So, I'm not special in any way, shape, or form.
I just gotta laugh at stuff like this because it's just one of these things. It's people that criticize you for something like that. The mind frame is so short-sighted and juvenile that it's.
Crazy.
I mean, where do you even start? I mean, what kind of reality are these folks living in? Are they completely exempt from the real world, the adult world? I mean, you do have bills to pay. You do have tax obligations to take care of. You do have to pay rent, mortgage, car payment, insurance, whatever, et cetera, et cetera. Nick, you are a Dogecoin investor as you're living. So you are going to have to take enough profits here and there to sustain a decent standard of living and just to keep things moving. Firstly, that's common sense to me. Secondly, why anyone thinks that they are owed an explanation from you about any of this stuff is beyond me. It's just so silly. It kind of reminds me of the same people that have kind of short lists of people that, have cycled through and witch hunted me and other content creators in the past.
Batman now.
Wait, what?
I think you were there for the stream where Crypto Batman was like, I want to get on these lists. You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he on the list now?
He's on the list now. I may have reached out to the crazies and put him on the list.
So you've got Crypto Batman on the crazies hit list now?
Yeah. He asked for it. He wanted it.
He wanted to be. Yeah, he wanted to be mixed up in it. I'm always on their naughty list.
Oh, yeah.
It's like I'm like one of the top go-tos for whatever crazy reasons, and
I love it. Because I always get lumped in there. It's great. Whenever somebody puts out one of those lists, it's like there's always the usual suspects, and it's the biggest influence. It's the biggest creators in the scene. It's Matt Wallace, you, the Dogecoin millionaire guy, and like 2 other people. But then at the bottom of the list, they'll always put like something like
honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. I'm pretty sure Nick Balls is involved too. And then you just see the comments get lit up with people like, you did not just say Nick Balls is in this. And it's just like people like the hordes coming to my defense. By the way, guys, I love that. I think that's absolutely hilarious because out of all people, I mean, I don't want to come off the wrong way here, but I have absolutely nothing to gain.
Yeah.
I've never sold, other than Dogecoin, I've never come out with a product. I'm not pushing a service. I'm not telling you to buy a course. I have no financial I'm set for life, people. I have no financial benefit to push anything. So I don't know. It's hilarious. I think it's so funny.
Yeah, to me, it's just a curious waste of energy, too, because it's kind of like these are people that are supposed Dogecoin investors. And actually, surprisingly, some of the biggest, craziest zealots within this faction that we're talking about aren't even Dogecoin investors anymore. They've sold their Doge.
Yeah,
they're sold their Doge, and they sold their Doge, and they're making they're the biggest critics on supposedly looking out for the Doge community. It's like you guys sold. Like, what are you even talking about? So there's that bit of irony there, but Yeah, I'm always on those naughty lists, and they always crack me up, and I always love to see the wild, inaccurate speculations, and it's just so, it's so ridiculous. Anyway, we could honestly do an entire show about folks like that, because
saying I'm going to do one of these after hours. We'll save it for one of these.
This is great material for the after hours. This is great material for our members only stream to have some fun with. But in the meantime, it seems that a lion's share of these top 20 most Dogecoin's top 20 most annoying have seemed to preoccupy themselves with the topic of creating nodes. So they finally found a positive
Dude,
focus.
That's legit, though.
I know
that's legit. Like,
I'm happy. I'm super happy they found a positive focus for a change. I hope it continues. Anyway, so
watch our network speed gets to be like the highest network speed in all of crypto because of it.
Yeah,
that'd be hilarious.
So what's going on in the chat? Definitely some provocative topics going on in the chat, some culture war stuff going on in the chat that I can't really cover. But I hear you guys. I see what you're saying. So the big topic of the night, when wallets. Is Robinhood about to break or fake? Nick, the last time we covered this thing, it was about 6 weeks ago, and we made a very friendly gentleman's bet, a wager, that I thought that Robinhood was going to deliver wallets within a 2-month span at the time of that bet. I think I got about 2 weeks left on that duration. And you said, no way, Jose. They have no intention. These wallets aren't coming. Well, now, what to make of it. We do have some developments that have been happening. Robinhood has been kind of trolling its audience, tweeting out just today, just about 6 hours ago, where the official Robinhood account tweets this out. What is one product feature you would love to see, and why wallets? Okay, obvious troll directly from the official Robinhood account. Then we have Vlad the man, not the impaler, but Vlad Tenev also kind of trolling people with the idea of wallets, posting the infamous meme of the GIF meme of John Travolta's character in Pulp Fiction popping out of a wallet, saying with retweeting the Robinhood tweet that I just stated. Before that, Vlad Tenev yesterday tweeting out about the wallets again. When wallets. So what do we make of this? I'll tell you my opinion on it, Nick, and then I'd love to get your feedback on it. I don't think he would be even bringing it up or trolling in this fashion unless he had some plans, some rollout plans. Now we have some articles that have been leaked out. One of them by, let's see here. One of them by Bloomberg. Bloomberg reported just this afternoon, Robinhood quietly tests crypto wallets, seeing if it's a feasible enough situation. CoinDesk also now reporting Robinhood testing crypto wallet feature in app. Robinhood software is said to include a hidden image that shows a wait list for subscribers signing up for the crypto wallet feature, according to the report. Potential crypto wallet was discovered by software developer Steve Mosler, who also discovered the code in Twitter's beta and accepting for its tip jar feature. So this was accidentally leaked out by a software developer. So this is not information that was meant for public consumption. But now we know that they are at least beta testing it with the intention perhaps of releasing it, with the intention of maybe not. Maybe they're feeling it out. Who knows? What do you say, Nick? What do you say now that we've had some more developments and we've had some trolling by both Vlad Tenev and the official Robinhood account on this topic?
I'll say this. If Robinhood pulls a safe moon and beta test their wallet for a year and a half, I still win the bet. So I'll say that much. But you know what? I feel like they're taking steps in the right direction. I'm sure that they will probably. I'm sure they'll start beta testing wallets a lot sooner than I originally predicted. However, I think that process in and of itself is not going to be a short one. I think that their beta testing phase for wallets will probably last at least a few months. At least 2 or 3 months of beta testing before they release it to the public. Unfortunately, it's probably going to go out to Apple users first because they seem to always get the goodies before everybody else. I don't know why that is. But yeah, I mean, it's a good thing. I think that so I think that it plays in line with the market as a whole. And there's a lot of interesting things happening in the market right now that we can go over. That's a whole totally different topic. But, as we know, Robinhood does not own the crypto that it has on it, technically on its exchange. It's owned by a third party. But it is, in quotations, the largest holder of crypto possibly in the world. Specifically, we know it is of Dogecoin 100%. But it could also, Robinhood theoretically could also be the largest holder of Bitcoin in the world too. And having their users have access to all of this could make an immense impact on the market as a whole. I mean, it 100% would. For Dogecoin, it 100% would. But what is that impact going to have when paired up with things like the Evergrande situation that's going on in China right now, which I hear they're getting a bailout. That's a whole different topic, but all of these things kind of culminate together. I am under the opinion that this is a great thing for crypto, and that it will, if it is timed perfectly, it could perpetuate the blow-off top into 2022, the restart of the bull run, essentially, and completely insane all-time highs that we're all kind of hoping for. Likewise, this black swan event of Evergrande and the potential deflation that the market could be seeing in the United States here pretty soon, with the lack of bond yields and things starting to reverse as far as money printing is concerned. So these are all massive factors that you have to take into consideration when you're talking about the crypto market as a whole. But I do believe that one way or the other, Robinhood will eventually come out with wallets. I just think it's it's a very slow process, and we know that for sure.
Yeah. Thanks for adding all that. The only point that I might disagree with you on, I'm not saying that you're wrong. We'll see how it plays out. But I'm under the impression that you're saying that beta wallet testing is probably going to go on for months and months. I
think 2 to 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think they're not going to beta test for 2 or 3 weeks and then drop it. Like, just based off of how Robinhood moves. You know what I mean? Like with everything else that they
Right.
I don't think they're going to beta test for 2 or 3 weeks and then be like, okay, it's ready to go. Like, that's just my take on it. I don't think it'll be, a year of beta testing or anything like that. But I think I think it would be reasonable to see 2 or 3 months of beta testing, and I don't think that would be out of the realm of possibility. I don't even think that's that long of a beta cycle, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, overall, I would agree with that. And that may be right, but part of me also thinks that Vlad is smart enough to know that I don't even know. I think it's possible that the troll signals he's sending now could be precursors to something coming more imminently than 2 or 3 months. Now, this also could be an effort to appease people with curiosity to fill up that 2 or 3 months. But we've already been screwing around with this for quite some time, and he is definitely aware of the level of anxiousness and full court pressure that he and Robinhood is under at this time. So I still think it's possible that they might be on the precipice of releasing wallets sooner than a couple months of beta testing. Now, will that happen within the next 2 weeks? Unlikely, honestly. Is it possible? Sure. But could it happen within the next 4 weeks? Yeah, obviously that'd be more likely. I could see that being a fairly probable scenario. Now, I think that Vlad is smart enough to recognize that we are entering into a new phase in the crypto market, wherein now that crypto has increased in adaptability throughout different sectors of the market, people are more keen and eager to send and receive crypto to each other for various transactions and retail uses or just gifting uses, etc. Not to mention cold wallets. I really do think that we are headed into a phase now of crypto culture, wherein if you want to be a long-term viable exchange in this game, you're going to have to give wallets to your user base. This is just going to be something that you're going to need to have to remain viable and relevant. And I think that the ones that are don't do this, even the ones that are very sluggish to do this, are going to pay the price, are really going to pay the price, and you're going to see an exodus of users towards exchanges that do offer wallets versus ones that don't. Your thoughts, Nick?
Yeah, I would completely agree, and I think that, obviously Robinhood has the stats on their user base. They know who bought what and when, and what percentage of their users, bought at this critical level that we're at now, which is like in the 20-ish cent range, that are now leaving their platform because if they cash out now, they're basically at a break even with no capital gains. So a lot of people, I think, are fleeing Robinhood for other exchanges, and rightfully so at the moment, right? Because it just doesn't make sense to hold your whatever you want to call it. I don't think it's technically Dogecoin, but people have argued me on this before and lost.
Yeah.
You don't own Dogecoin on Robinhood. You own a price. Are there Dogecoins out there that are allocated for you? Yeah, sure. But if you can't spend them on anything, it's kind of, or transfer them anywhere else, it's not really the same thing at all. It's a promissory that eventually one day you'll be able to, but until that day comes, you're strictly owning a price. I hope that for Robinhood as a company, they get their act together, and they get their act together quick. Because I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure they have their user data. They know exactly how many people bought what and when. And people are more inclined to leave now that there are opportunities like staking programs on other exchanges. And by the way, other exchanges that don't charge the fees that Robinhood, charges. Not that Robinhood charges like exorbitant fees, but they get you in other ways. So, yeah, I mean, I am confident that they will solve this issue. I had my doubts as to what that kind of a time frame would look like, but it's starting to look more feasible in the near future instead of what I thought would be years. So, I think that they probably will get it done 100% completed in the next year. In 12 months, it'll be, 100% completed. But I am optimistic to see wallet beta testing begin in the next, 2 months or so. And
Right.
like I said, once they start that beta testing program, and by the way, this is just my prediction. I believe it'll take place on Apple, and they'll do beta testing on Apple for probably 2 or 3 months, maybe a little less, somewhere around
Right,
I don't know,
right,
month,
right.
2, somewhere, and then they'll do a full rollout after that. So we're looking at maybe 5 months max before
Right.
wallets are completely, a real thing for everybody.
Right. I think that's fair. I think it's a fair assessment. The interesting thing about the wager that we set is it now it appears now we could be surprised, right? We could be surprised with wallets coming in imminently within the next couple weeks. This is still a possibility. I still think that's possible. Now, I think that's less possible than the other options and scenarios that we are entertaining. But I do still think it's on the table. Mr. X, first super chat of the night. Thank you so much, Mr. X. $5 super chat. Steel Balls FTW. Yes, Steel Man, they hate you because they ain't you. Thank you, Mr. X. Appreciate you. Appreciate the support of the show. Appreciate the super chat and kind words. So I still do think this is a possibility, albeit less of a possibility. Now, what's interesting about the wager you and I sent, the most likely scenario seems to fall directly between us, what our wager was. You took the stance that they had essentially they had very little to no intention of ever delivering wallets. I took the stance of that it was going to be delivered within the next 6 to 8 weeks, and the most probable scenario is looking to be
somewhere in between.
Yeah, somewhere in between. The wallets are more than likely going to be delivered, but not as efficiently as. Probably not nearly as efficiently as I initially considered, but I hope I'm wrong, for obvious reasons, and I'm still willing to leave that on the table. But I don't think that Vlad or Robinhood would be entertaining and trolling with this wallet dangling over their user base unless they were already planning on some sort of rollout with it. And now that we have a beta testing that's been confirmed and leaked out, just if you don't know yet, just to be clear, it is confirmed now that Robinhood is beta testing wallets right now. They are currently in beta testing phases for wallets. This information was leaked out through a software developer. This was not meant for public consumption. So we do know at the very least they are beta testing. What this leads to ultimately remains to be seen. Nick and I seem to think the most probable scenario will be wallets to be rolled out within a 2 to 4 month span, somewhere along that line. Probably. Could it be sooner? Yeah, I think so. Nick probably thinks 0% chance. I would say that's maybe about a 15% chance if I had to put something on it. But I would love to be pleasantly surprised in that regard. But Vlad is savvy enough to know that over the long period of time, if he wants to remain a very super viable exchange in the cryptocurrency industry, that wallets are just going to have to come, particularly Dogecoin wallets. It's a big trade-off for them, right? Because they are going to lose some of that Dogecoin with people wanting to transfer out to cold wallets and whatnot. But I think because of the nature of the majority of the user base that is on Robinhood, which is predominantly newer investors, I don't think the majority of them still, even once wallets will arrive, will be transferring the majority of their cryptocurrencies onto cold wallet scenarios. But I do think they want the peace of mind and security of knowing that they could if they wanted to. I also think that Robinhood is going to continually develop adding more coins in the near future. I think within the next 12 months, we're going to see quite a few. We're gonna likely see quite a few new additions to coins being offered on Robinhood. I think Robinhood has big plans of doing whatever they can to remain very viable in cryptocurrency. And now with the quarterly reports that we've seen, Nick, we've seen how much of Robinhood's revenue is generated from cryptocurrency and Dogecoin specifically. So they have a huge vested interest in keeping customers happy. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I completely agree, and I also would like to add that, and this is something that I've thought about in the past, and it's really kind of a question of does Robinhood hold enough Doge to supply its users, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course they say they do, but we don't really know for sure. I'm actually going through the whale wallet right now to see if there's been any significant movement in the past few months. I don't think there's been a few larger outs, but not anything major. But this could cause a run on the Dogecoin supply, right? If they're in a position where they need more Dogecoin. It looks like the last major purchases they made were back in February. So, it's interesting. We'll see. I believe that Dogecoin for Robinhood is probably, and I know for a fact it is their largest, asset holding.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know. We don't know if they own enough to satisfy their customer need currently. Now you give your customers the ability to send Dogecoin to other places. Even if you're right, Stephen, and a fraction of the people on Robinhood actually send their Dogecoin somewhere else, that's still a significant number of Dogecoin. You're talking about tens to hundreds of millions of Doge, right? So, either way, I think that wallets for Robinhood users is a good thing, and I see it. Initially, I think Elon said that it would be bad for the Dogecoin market at first, but I don't know if I necessarily agree with that because there could be a huge supply shock when these wallets come out and Robinhood realizes oh shit, we need more. So yeah, we'll see. I'm very interested to see what happens in the next few weeks. Our bet, I believe, has a 2-week timer ticking down on it. Beta testing is not included in that timer. Just wanted to make that very clear.
Okay. Jason
Beta
Huff.
testing isn't real.
Jason Huff coming in with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Jason. Prayers for Josh and his mom. I lost my mom. Tipping Steven for both of our moms. Thank you so much, Jason. That's a super kind gesture. And that's a response to Josh saying up thread. Josh said, I'd love to slap some super chats in the stream, but I'm now faced with covering my ailing mom's cancer treatment. Love you guys. Josh Randell, you've been such a generous supporter of this show and this community. Josh,
put up the GoFundMe or something. I'll just throw something on there.
Yeah. Let us know if you decide to put up something like that, Josh. And totally understandable, my friend. Feel no super chat obligation to this stream particularly in lieu of your circumstances. We're all pulling for you. We're all pulling for your mom. Thoughts and prayers, and let us know if there's anything we can do fundraising wise for that situation. Zombie Doge Army, $2 super chat. Thank you, Zombie. This one's for you, Josh Randell disavows. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Zombie. Appreciate it. Do you think, Nick, that Robinhood will instill some sort of subtle reward system for people holding their currencies on the platform once the wallets are out to discourage exodus of funds?
This was actually, one of the primary bastions of the pro wallet community in the very beginning. They're like, well, you know what could make Robinhood want to add the wallets is if Robinhood gave their users a staking, right? Like you could stake it and you'd make money. It'd be great. Robinhood would keep their customers around. Good idea, right? Not so much for Robinhood, because that would mean that Robinhood would pay you to keep your Doge there.
Mm-hmm.
And what would Robinhood need to do for that? What would Robinhood need? They would need more Dogecoin than they currently have, a significant amount more. So yeah, no, I mean, it's a good idea because other places are doing it, right? And that means that to keep your customers around or moving, to think about moving to other places, you would want to incentivize them to stay. But that doesn't make you money. That makes, it costs you money to do that. Which, there are such things as like calculated or prefigured, like, we're going to lose this to make that. That makes sense. I understand that from a business perspective. However, it's not a money-making type of thing. It would cost them money to do that, and I hope they do. I think it's a great idea to keep their user base around, active and interested in their platform. And they should, if they do add wallets, I would really highly recommend. I don't know who the hell's in control of the board of Robinhood other than Vlad, but they really should look into staking like right away. And I'm sure they are. If they're going to add wallets, they're going to add staking immediately. Because why would you even risk losing a single person to another platform when they have the instant ability to do so? But again, this means that you need more Dogecoin. Where do you get more Dogecoin from? Other exchanges. So there could be a very, very sharp supply shock on Dogecoin if this is the case. And these are the type of catalysts that lead to massive influxes in price action.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that's perfectly stated there. Josh Randell coming in with a $10 super chat. Not necessary, my friend, but thank you very much. Says, love you guys. We love you back. We love you back, Josh, and we want the best for both you and your mom, honestly. Alan Schneider coming with a $2 super chat. Peace, love, and Doge. Yeah, speaking of peace, love, and Doge, tomorrow is World Peace, our Wage Peace, World Wage Peace Day, and that is a online event masterminded by Gary LaChance of the Dogecoin Foundation and creator of Million Doge Disco. Now, how do you get a ticket for Wage Peace Day? The tickets are free. You just go to dogedisco.com on their homepage and register there. You have much time left. You don't have much time left, but you still have some time, and you'll get a code there to be able to access Wage Peace Day tomorrow. A bunch of speakers, including yours truly. I will be on the panel tomorrow, talking about 11 a.m. In regards to decentralized transportation and things surrounding that. Other speakers will include Vitalik Buterin and Billy Marcus, Ross Nickel. So it's going to be quite a lineup, guys. Don't want to miss that. If you want to reserve your space there, go to dogedisco.com, and make it happen. And if you want to tune in to hear your man talk tomorrow at 11 a.m., that's where I'll be. That'll be Pacific time, by the way, Pacific time. Also, tomorrow's going to be a very busy day for me because tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will be holding a Twitter Spaces with myself and the development team of Doge X NFT line. It'll be your man, Real Deal Steven Steele, talking with the development team of the Doge X NFT collection. We are going to deep dive into the plans for the ever-expanding metaverse of that project and what it means for Dogecoin, what Doge X is actively doing right now in their own ways to assist in helping Dogecoin, helping the expanding the bridging and the practical uses between Ethereum and Dogecoin. So we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about the inspiration of the artwork and etc. and a whole lot more. So if you don't already follow me on Twitter, just follow me on Twitter at Mr. Steven Steele to watch out for that. That will be happening at 7 p.m. tomorrow Pacific Standard Time. So 11 a.m. tomorrow at Wage Peace Day, 7 p.m. tomorrow at the Twitter Spaces. So busy day tomorrow. And will I get to a live program on YouTube after that? I'm not sure. We'll have to see how my voice is doing by that time, guys. So just keep your notifications on. What was the last point you made there, Nick, before I went on about giving people
staking, yeah.
Staking,
I do want
right.
to say real quick that I wish I would have been able to take your place tomorrow, only because I've been in the transportation industry for the past 10 years. So.
Oh, my gosh. You should join me, man, honestly.
I know, dude. I'm going to be out of town, though.
Oh, my gosh.
I screwed up. This whole week was screwed up for me because I thought I screwed up my doctor's appointment today. Well, they screwed up my doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
And then I get a message from, I call my doctor, my massage therapist, chiropractor guy. And I completely forgot that I booked him for Wednesday, which is normally when I go see my girlfriend.
Yeah.
So I had to like quickly message her and be like, hey, I'm actually coming to see you tomorrow instead of Wednesday. So I have a chiropractor appointment on Wednesday, so I won't be in town tomorrow. So it screwed me all up. I didn't get to have my coffee till like freaking like 9:30 today because I had to get my blood pressure taken.
Oh my gosh.
But I will tell you, my blood pressure, perfect.
Yeah, brilliant, man.
Dude, I had high blood pressure for like the past 5 years. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a big deal then.
Yeah. Now that I'm not 230 pounds, it's back to normal.
Yeah, that'll have that effect. Yeah. Somebody is mentioning Coinbase's, let's see here. Coinbase stop lending program. Have you heard the news? Yeah, I did hear a bit about that. So basically, Coinbase has abandoned its lending program product after SEC kind of has been giving them heat and cracking down on it. What to make of this? Since they dropped their plans to launch this thing, it does show the power of the SEC. We need to keep an eye on that and the potential ramifications going forward. So basically, they bowed to pressure from our U.S. securities regulators who had warned Coinbase that it constituted an unregistered security that would have prompted them to take further legal actions. So it's definitely a climb down for Coinbase.
Do you know why they did that?
Go ahead.
The SEC is stopping stablecoin lending programs for one very good reason. They compete with bonds.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you buy a bond that is guaranteed at 1.5% when you could just put that money into a stablecoin lending program where you get 5%? Doesn't make any sense. So that's the reason the SEC is coming down on all of these stablecoins that are being, that have particular percentage yields or whatever it may be. It's all just money, people. It has nothing to do with protecting anyone.
Nope.
It is all about the dollars and cents, baby.
Yep, that's right. Don't get it twisted. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. This crackdown on the SEC in relation to Coinbase, it has nothing to do with protecting you, the investors, has nothing to do with consumer protection, has nothing to do with consumer advocacy or watching out for the little guy. This has everything to do with stablecoins eating into the profit margins of bonds. At the end of the day, that's what this has to do. It's the same racket of what's going on with the SEC and XRP, but in different ways. It's the same thing as when we hear Elizabeth Warren and the like, FUD on about cryptocurrency, and whether it's her or Bill Gates. These are people that are
probably should be in jail.
Essentially. Essentially, if they had to live by the rules that everyone else has to. Josh Randell disavows coming in at $10 super chat. Dogecoin should have its own signature brand dip sauce at this point. A Doge dip chip too. Well, I was corresponding with a English chip company, Mr. Singh's, who was entertaining a Doge flavor chip. And he even sent me some product that I was going to try in the air, including the super notorious extra super duper Reaper chip, they call it, the super hot chip. But then when he found out at the time that I broadcasted the show, given the time zone differences of him in London and me in the States, I haven't heard back.
Yeah, it's hard to coordinate. Let me add one thing here, everybody in the chat. I know if I've turned there's a rapper, and I know Steven knows who I'm talking about because I made him listen to the song. Mm-hmm. There's a rapper from Memphis by the name of Crown Chakra, and he actually makes the tracks for Crypto Face, the guy that I follow, a lot of people follow. He just came out with a new track, and it's not live yet, so you can't, it's not on his whatever iTunes, or you can't go get it yet. But what you can do is go to Crypto Face's YouTube channel. It's on his third stream from the beginning, so it's titled 64K was top forever, live $4 million dump, short loss something, 100K making it back. He lost 100. By the way, Crypto Face lost $100,000 the other day. Hilarious. Anyway, there's the very it's literally you just press play. It's the first song, and this Crown Chakra guy just came out with this track called "By the Dip," and it is amazing. It's just as good as the last one he put out. So if you're a fan, like I am, of old school Memphis rap from the early 2000s or late 90s. This track just came out. I'm going to be posting it as soon as he finishes mastering it or whatever, but it is solid, and it is really, I don't know how he timed this so perfectly to the market just completely crashing.
Wow.
If you want to go listen to good Memphis rap, I recommend Crown Chakra.
Crown Chakra, By the Dip. That's his latest single, pretty aptly timed, I would agree.
I don't know how he does it.
Josh Randell coming in again with $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Josh. Maybe Doge should have a high-end dog food brand. That would be cool. I could actually.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, I could.
That idea.
To me, that seems like a slam dunk. I feel like I feel like high-end dog food, a Doge brand would be incredibly successful. Now, I don't know what the hang-ups now potentially might be regarding working that out with the Doge, this reestablishment of the Dogecoin Foundation, but
dog food is a notoriously hard thing to manufacture.
Is it really?
And yeah, because I used to ship dog food all the time, and there is almost no margin in dog food.
Are you serious?
Even the high end, real super expensive dog food. They're the people who are basically it makes no money.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dog food is a really slimy, dirty industry.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's really, really bad. It is ran by some of the scummiest, skeeziest people you would ever want to meet. It's terrible.
Wow, man.
It's unfortunate because it's we love our pets and everything, but if you guys knew what went into the dog food and the how it's made and the cost cutting stuff that goes, it's just insane. It's insane.
Wow, man. Yeah, I don't doubt it. I mean, that's a field that I just have no idea about, but it wouldn't surprise me at all.
I didn't either until I started working for them. I had no clue. But yeah, dog food is You know what? It's funny because it's super. The manufacturing of it is super simple. It's just the ingredients themselves are
Yeah.
the margin is so incredibly low, and then you have to pay people to make it, and you have to package it, and by the time you get it on the store shelves, you're making like literally like you're making like Dogecoin back in 2014. You're making like fractions of a penny.
Wow, like why would anyone even have the motivation to start a new dog food company then?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Honestly. Wow. The seedy underbelly of dog food manufacturing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, that is weird. So Nick, we have settled into what looks like another red September, right? People are freaking out across the board about this. Even BitBoy Crypto the other day said, "Brace yourself, take your profits now. In 2 weeks, it's all going to hell in a handbasket." I felt that was a bit excessive, to put it mildly. Now, how much?
Who said BitBoy?
Yeah, BitBoy Crypto.
That's hilarious because he said that he. Did you see he came out with his prediction was wrong video?
No, I didn't watch that.
Oh, yeah. He said Bitcoin was going to be
300,000.
Yeah, by the end of September.
Yeah, 300,000. Yeah, I was talking about that last night.
Yeah, and then he came out with a video like 2 hours later. It was like, I may have been wrong about that.
Yeah,
you know what?
A little off.
I think that we are, just the way that things are moving at the moment. I think that obviously September. Listen, how long? When was it in August that we were having this discussion where I was like, "Watch out, guys! September's gonna hit like a ton of bricks." Like, I don't think people are ready. It's not gonna be fun. I still think that October is going to be a great month, and that we could see this bull run continue into November and December and peak out sometime towards the end of the year. I think that's what's going to end up happening. But a lot of people are going to get shaken out here in the next couple weeks, next week or two. So yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, and there's a lot of manipulation. There's a lot of things going on economically right now. But don't let that shake your view of, your long-term outlook on crypto as in general. I hate, the buy the dip thing is such a cliche thing to say, but in a sense, I look for opportunities in the worst of times, and I don't even think this right now is the worst of times. Like, I'm not making major purchases right now. I think the market's still looking great.
Yeah, overall, when you look, when you zoom out, honestly, it's like I keep stating, the overall trajectory of cryptocurrency, in terms of the top 20 anyway, shows a story of 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And right now we're just in the midst of another 1 step back before we spring 2 steps forward. I've seen other content creators in our sphere talk about a mighty bull run coming in as soon as the end of this month, going on for a couple months. I know Mike Davis has been talking a lot about this lately. What are your thoughts on an outlook that optimistic, that rosy?
I follow the TA that I really like is by the guy that Sir Doge turned us onto, who I'm so glad, like, that this is some of the best TA I've ever seen. It's by a guy named Coins Kid, and he's from England, I believe. He uses what's known as Elliott wave theory, which is by the way, some of the oldest TA that
that goes way back.
It's back to the 1800s. I mean,
oh
that's
my
when
God!
That was invented. So, Elliott wave theory has been around forever. If you're going to be using some sort of TA, I mean, it does work out most of the time. And I listen to, literally, the cool thing about Coins Kid is he is from England, So it is when I wake up every morning before I even turn my computer on, I pop my headphones in, and his video on Bitcoin covering what happened while I was asleep all night is up. And I know what to be expecting for the day right away. So using Elliott wave theory and ABCD patterns and fractals, all of these things combined. And by the way, guys, I'm not proclaiming to be an expert at any of this. I'm an idiot, by the way. So I failed math every year. But I did make a perfect sell at 26 cents the other day, so cha-ching. But I will say this, that I believe that we are in for a Bull Run Part 2 Electric Boogaloo starting in October, possibly starting as soon as the end of this month and in the next few weeks. I do believe that we need to crack through some very critical levels at the, we're not there yet as far as like how low can we go. However, I will say that if we do not break down to the levels that are being proposed by some of these bigger TA channels, that's not necessarily a bad thing. And it would probably be even more bullish if we didn't do that. We don't have to get all, Bitcoin doesn't have to go down to 30,000 to come back up to 100. Dogecoin doesn't have to go down to 15 cents to come back up to $1. Like, these things aren't prerequisites for the market taking off. We could see, we're looking, this, what we're in right now. I posted a tweet earlier, it was complete satire, but I was like, look, after the whole day of red, the 24-hour chart reset, and normally when the 24-hour chart resets, we get nothing but red candles after that. At least we have been for the past few weeks. But as soon as that 24-hour chart reset, we got green candles all of a sudden. And I was like, ooh, green candles, green market forever. The bull run is never stopping. It's it's going forever. Obvious satire. But there is kind of some truth to that in the sense that we could see a very nice V-shaped recovery out of a nice steady climb out of this, and going into October, see a complete blow off top and explosion into the new year, and then see that come down from there. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know. I take a look at what I see on the daily and go from there. When I see opportunities, golden crosses on the lower time frames, and I need some money, I make some money. And that's about how I roll. So yeah, I am hopeful that I think that crypto will continue to grow over the next few months, and I think Bitcoin especially will see a new all-time high set within the next few months, whether that be October or November or towards the end of the year. I think that's what we're in store for, barring, and let me be very clear, barring a black swan event, which is, by the way, we've got one cooking right now.
Right.
There is a black swan event happening as we speak. We can get into more detail about it, but China is in a whole mess right now.
Right.
And their housing or whatever you real estate situation that's happening in China, although I think there's financial people on Fox News who would like to have you think otherwise, it could domino to the rest of the world. We're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars in default. And this could domino effect to other people, because we don't know how much of that default is owned by institutions outside or within the reach or scope of the United States. So we'll find out. But yeah, that Evergrande situation scares the hell out of me, because you got a Chinese company using Spanish names, and yeah, it's just scary.
Yeah, what sort of probability would you give to a black swan event that would be significant enough to really shake up the market?
Well, I've been saying for, I don't know, the past almost 2 years now that the U.S. housing market is so incredibly overvalued. I don't know how it keeps going. And yeah, I see a lot of people posting in the chat, the debt ceiling. Like, there's a bunch of factors right now that can put us into a complete total economic collapse as big of, if not worse, than 2008. There's a house of cards that has been built. I was talking to my dad about. I've been spending a lot of quality time with my father recently. My brother's working his new job, so my dad's lonely. He doesn't have anybody to hang out with. So, so I went shooting with him the other night.
That's awesome. Okay. Yeah.
We were talking about this. We're like, I was like, hey, all of these. He doesn't live in a ghetto neighborhood, but he lives ghetto adjacent.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, there's houses, complete shithole houses next to you that are selling for over $400,000 right now, like 2-bedroom dumps for $400,000.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how are the banks? I understand that we have checks in place now where people who don't have jobs or don't have credit can't get loan. It's not like when just anybody with a pulse could get a loan. I understand that, but it doesn't change the fact that if people get into a house for a ton of money, and then now that house becomes worth half as much, and all of a sudden they're having to pay a bank note on a house that isn't worth, they can't pay it off, that still puts you in a bad spot. So I don't know. Something has to give.
Mm-hmm.
Something has to give. I don't know what it'll be. Will it be the Evergrande situation in China? Will it be the debt ceiling? Will it be, deflation that is bound to happen because we cannot keep printing the amount of money we're printing? What will it be? Something is there. There will be a stick that breaks the camel's back eventually.
Yeah, and how it expresses itself remains to be seen. And I agree with you. The amount of things that are going extraordinarily dicey at this point in terms of how it directly affects not only the U.S., but the I'm trying to figure out how to tackle this without getting too far into this, but just recent legislations and changes in administrations have really thrown a lot of these questions that we are entertaining into absolute tailspins. I mean, here we have, I don't know if you've covered what's happening at the southern border lately, but it's just pouring in and stacking up by the tens of thousands, all the way from Haiti through
saw they got
various
guys
parts
on horses trying to whip people back into Mexico.
They're not trying to whip. Are they physically whipping them back in Mexico?
Yeah.
It's they are our borders. You know what I mean? We do have a
better than shooting.
Right. We do have a right. Every nation, in my opinion, has a right to sovereignty and to protect its own borders. Even that it was seen as a somewhat of a controversial statement
I think that's
today,
absolutely ridiculous. It's so funny too, Stephen, because that viewpoint of everyone should have open borders. A lot of that sentiment, and I'm talking about outside of United States citizens here, but a lot of that sentiment comes from extremely left-wing people in Europe, in countries that have some of the most secure borders on earth. Like, I've been there. Go try and break into Iceland. Good effing luck. Like, if you overstay your visa a day, they are coming to find you. Like, it's so funny that people who have this viewpoint that anybody can go anywhere and should be able to do anything have clearly never been to North Korea. There's places that have borders, and we all have borders for a reason. And some people can argue about the facts of why those borders are there and whatnot. But if this recent pandemic has shown us anything, it's that the borders that we have now aren't even that great. We've got big issues to tackle, and
that's another level of cognitive dissonance that I'm seeing, wherein it seems oftentimes the folks that are most concerned about the ramification and the spreading of the pandemic are simultaneously essentially campaigning for open borders policies to me, it's just like you get to pick one of those. Advocating for both of those simultaneously is a level of being oxymoronic that is very hard to wrap your head around. So it's just it's very all of these things happening simultaneously are having they're having very detrimental effects on the state of America, and we're just waiting for which straw is going to break this camel's back. Essentially, is what we're talking about right now. How that expresses itself remains to be seen. But like you said a little earlier, Nick, all this can't keep going without repercussion. And so we have a right to be nervous. How, once the other shoe drops on everything that's been happening lately, affects the crypto market remains to be seen. It might not. It might affect a lot of things, but the crypto market may not be one of those things. In fact, the crypto market may continue to be one of the safer harbors of protection against all these other uncertainties. Hopefully,
I love that idea. I love that idea. It makes me it gives me the warm and fuzzies, and if that ends up being true, it's safer to keep your money in crypto than anywhere else. And if the whole thing comes crashing down, the crypto markets just explode, trust me, guys, I am so that would be chef's kiss. That would be great. Personally, I don't think that's the case, but I would love to see that happen. I don't think that's the case because I think crypto is so extremely fickle to every little, it moves to end. Look at what we saw with Litecoin the other week. Somebody farted and made a fake news article that Litecoin was getting added to Walmart. It shot up 200%. Crypto is just still incredibly volatile. And there's, by the way, I love that. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I love the volatility. That's why I'm here. But I would love to see crypto be the bastion for, safe and secure savings and wealth and whatever. I think that would be great. But complete honesty, in the sense of an entire global economic meltdown, it's going to take everything out with it. There ain't nothing that's safe. It's all burning to the ground, baby. So I'd love to see that not be the case, but unfortunately, I just feel like that's what will happen.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, it won't. Hopefully, things aren't going to spiral into too much of a sci-fi apocalyptic novel. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I do think that cryptocurrency is going to continue to be a very strong, prosperous leverage for the average person up against all of these obstacles that we are seeing. And I think one of the things that sucks the most is also the thing that's going to ultimately preserve cryptocurrency in America anyway, and that is the taxation. There's no way our government is going to do away with cryptocurrency when they know how profitable the taxation process will continually be for it. They're not going to leave that money on the table. They'd rather collect that money, folks. At the end of the day, that's what makes it all go around. Your thoughts, Nick?
Oh yeah, 100%. That's why I think I answered that almost to the T in that Benzinga interview that I did.
Yep.
One of the questions was, do you see crypto ever being banned in the United States? I was like, hell no. If America loves anything, it's a good money pig. And
yeah.
Take this one to slaughter anytime soon. They want it to get nice and fat. I don't think there's ever going to be any kind of, of course, I think everyone knows there's going to be crypto regulation. We're going to have eras of more advanced regulation. We're going to have eras of complete Wild Westness like we had back in 2012.
Right.
In to some extent like we have now.
Right.
But all I'm saying is, like, listen, I'm glad, I am so incredibly thankful that back in 2012, when I was sitting at an Olive Garden working the dumbest job in the world, drinking White Russians till I couldn't talk anymore, I saw a news article on the TV channel was talking about Bitcoin. I'm so glad that I saw that.
Wow.
If it wasn't for that drunken afternoon at the Olive Garden outside of the Best Buy,
Man,
I probably
Nick.
wouldn't be a millionaire right now. And I'm just glad that I hopped in at, like, pretty much it wasn't the very beginning, but it pretty much was the very beginning. It certainly was the very beginning for Dogecoin. I'm just glad that I got into it at that time. And people who are new to crypto now, it's still the beginning. It's still, we're still very early on. Now, this depends on your age, right? Like, if you're 70 years old, it ain't the beginning for you. So,
Yeah.
But if you were like me back then, I was in my early 20s at the time.
Yeah.
Getting into anything like cryptocurrency right now, at least, and you're in your early 20s, is, or even early 30s, if you've got $10, $15, $20,000 and 10, 15, 20 years to wait, and you can continually add to your position over time. I mean, it's just been it has been the best performing asset of all time.
Yes.
And it's not debatable. I was talking to I work out with a guy I just met. I've seen this dude for 7 years at the gym, never spoke a word to him. And he heard me talking about crypto the other day, and he's like, You get into crypto? He's like, he trades penny stocks. He's like Jordan Belfort. And he doesn't trade crypto at all because he bought Ethereum at like $3 and sold it at like $200. And thought that he was balling.
Right. Right.
And now he's like kicking himself. And he's like, I never want to get back into crypto. I'm like, bro, it's okay. We all make mistakes, but
yeah.
He's still a young guy. He's got tons of money from, I don't know, duping old ladies in penny stocks.
Jeez.
Like, roll it into crypto, bro. Roll it into crypto.
That's hilarious.
I will say that I do, and this is just personally speaking. I'm not giving anybody a playbook. I'm not telling anybody what to do. This is not investment advice. This is what I'm doing. Right now, as I have made my sells throughout the year, I've taken a portion of my earnings and I just keep it in cash. And I keep it in cash ready to deploy for when I see the bottom of the bear market. Who knows? Maybe in a year, maybe in a year and a half. I don't know when that time will come, but I know for 100% the time is not right now. Mm-hmm. We're in a bull market right now and still are, despite what you saw today over the course of a day. Mm-hmm. Doesn't change my opinion. But this is what I'm doing. I am slowly accumulating hundreds of thousands of dollars to do this whole thing all over again and create a perpetual self-driving windmill of wealth so that I'll never have to work again, because that's the only thing. I don't want to go back to the office, Stephen. I can't do it. I've lived too long out here. I don't know any other way.
Doge Rat coming in with 14 Canadian dollar super chat. Thank you, Doge Rat, and welcome. Better late than never, my friend. Great to see you in the mix. Great to see you in the mix. His super chat is yo. Well, yo back to you, my friend. And thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for mixing it up with us here tonight. Yeah. That's the thing about the penny stocks game. It's all about those margins, baby, right? I mean, to the casual onlooker and those who are already big ballers through other paths to have gotten there, it seems it can appear to be a fool's errand. But many times you keep running enough of those fool's errands in the right way, you end up on top, or you can. So your friend, it's so funny to me that has a complete aversion to cryptocurrency now after his experience with Ethereum. To me, it should have the opposite effect. Like, hey, wow, I really missed it here. I should probably really double down and see what else I'm missing out on.
He's slowly. So today, I gave him like a market outlook, and basically it covered everything that we're like talking about tonight.
Yeah.
And by the end of the conversation, he was like, "Thank you so much for telling me about all this," because he just doesn't pay attention to crypto at all.
Right.
He has such an aversion to it. He does not know anything that's going on in the crypto markets at all, which is hilarious because he's trading penny stocks. And a lot of these cryptos are essentially the same thing as a penny stock, except you're never going to see a penny stock go up 33,000%.
No way.
Yeah. So, I told him, I'm like, look, dude, you should. I'm not telling you to get in right now because obviously we're still in this period. He was like, well, should I? He was like, should I buy? If I see Bitcoin keep dipping, he's like, should I buy some Bitcoin? I'm like, no, don't do that. And this is a guy who trades for a living. I'm like, dude, percentage gain, bro. Percentage gain over time.
Right.
Find something that you're going to find your biggest percentage gain. That's the thing. Like, everybody's so hot for Bitcoin. It's like, there's only so much more percentage to be wrung out of this thing.
Right.
You're only going to get so much more. But where you're looking at stuff like Dogecoin or stuff like ADA or stuff like Solana, well, even Solana's getting up there now. Came down a bunch, which thank God. But there's eventually you can only, there's only so much money to be made. I believe that Ethereum will eventually be it's going to obviously overtake Bitcoin at some point. But I don't care. Like, I'm not I am emotionally tied to Dogecoin. People would, I have it tattooed on me, all right? It was my best investment of all time. Like, I am a bit emotionally tied to Dogecoin. But that still doesn't mean I won't sell it.
Right.
It's still just an investment, people. Don't become the people, and this is a vast majority of those on Twitter. It's a vast majority of newbie investors. It's a vast majority of investors in general. And that's why they say like 90% of people who get into trading stocks primarily, like 90-something% of them fail out. They stop doing it after the first 3 months because it just, people are pre-wired and pre-programmed to become emotionally invested in things.
Right.
All that matters in investing is percentage gain over time. How much money will you make if I give you $100? We'll use Dogecoin. If I give you $700 in 2014 and you sell it for $700,000 in 2021, that's percentage gain over time. That's what you should be looking for. Doesn't matter what the technology is. It doesn't matter what the use case is. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. All that matters is the money. At the end of the day, that's what's paying your bills. So you have to, at some point, take some emotion out of it and look at what is your best opportunity in the market. And, it's hard to do that when you're thinking about like all the other things that go on. I totally understand. And I know why people get wrapped up in things because I do it too. So it's not a mystery. But at some point you have to think about, okay, what do I do to make the most money?
Yeah, totally. I couldn't agree with you more. Rodrigo says, I converted most of my low cap coin to ADA. What's your opinion? Nick?
I guess it depends on what price you got it at. I mean, it does.
Right.
It also depends on how long you plan on holding it for. I'm
100%.
My plan is to keep 100,000 ADA to. I want to see ADA eventually get to $1,000. I don't think that's that crazy. I want 100,000 ADA that I bought for an average price of $1 to be worth each ADA to be worth $1,000. I don't, with what ADA does and the ecosystem that it's building, I don't think it's that crazy to say that in 10 years ADA could be worth $1,000.
Right.
You know, I might miss the mark by a couple $100, but I don't care about the difference between 800 and 1,000. You know what I mean? Like if I have to sell it, if I see a market top at 800, you better believe I'm selling that ADA.
Right.
So I originally had this outlook for ADA, like, look, I'm going to get 100,000 of it, and I'm going to buy it for $1, and I'm going to sell it for $20. But then once I saw the way that ADA moved and what they're doing, which is essentially the same thing as Ethereum, except way cheaper, why would I think that it couldn't do the same thing as Ethereum? If I keep a reasonable outlook on it in the future, at least, like, I'm not saying, next bull cycle or, whatever, but let's say 5 to 10 years, there's no reason that ADA can't get it to $1,000 in 5 to 10 years. I don't think that's that crazy at all.
Yeah. I would agree with you there. I think that's definitely within the realm of possibility. Why don't we wind this one down, Nick? I got a lot of work yet to do tonight. I know you got some rest to get. So that being said, guys, don't forget tomorrow I will be speaking at the Wage Peace Festival that a couple members of the Dogecoin Foundation are putting on. Huge, massive speakers. For some reason, I'm in the mix of those huge, massive speakers. So it's going to be yours truly, Vitalik Buterin, Ross Nickel, Billy Marcus, and a few others. So go to dogedisco.com. I think you literally have maybe 30 minutes left to reserve your spot. Ticket for free there. And that will be going on through most of the day tomorrow. I'll be speaking on that platform tomorrow at 11 a.m. And then don't forget, tomorrow night, 11 p.m., this is both specific times that I'm giving you, by the way, I will be hosting a Twitter space with the developers of Doge X. Just me and the developers of Doge X. We're going to have a really great conversation about the future of the project. I think it's an exciting project. I think things are going really well. We're going to talk to them about the artwork, inspiration, the expansion of the metaverse, which they have a lot of plans for, and what it means for advancing Dogecoin within that metaverse. They're working on bridges right now, different ways to bridge the usage between Ethereum and Dogecoin, and so we'll be talking about that as well. And on that, Nick, do you have any positive Doge-centric parting words for our audience?
Yeah, guys, just remember, Red September. It's nothing to fear. Dogecoin is here. Everything's going to be okay.
I love it. Very well stated and concluded, Mr. Balls. Guys, if you don't already follow Nick Balls on Twitter, what are you doing? Go over there, Nick, B-A-L-L-Z. And if there's a couple of you that already follow me on Twitter, what are you doing? Mr. Steven Steele. At that, guys, we are going to bid you adieu. This is Nick Balls and Steven Steele signing out. Until next time, take care, everyone.
the birds, the summer haze.